wasted. My heart grows heavy. Don't taste me rushing. Keep your words naked. You got me blushing. And forever I'll follow. You'll be my holy ground. You forever I'll follow. In immortality, I can see you and me.
Hey everyone, I thought I'd try something different today and take over Dave's channel and do a bit of Planet Zoo. Why not? Need to start up the game. The music. Hello Ian and Sean and Solder. Come on. Oh, on Andrew on the screen. Okie dokie. Right, accept your silly thing. Oh. Okay. Let's go to live screen. Oh, that's alright. So, I've got to do all of this again. I did this all last time I played this game. I actually downloaded that game, Solder, and started playing it. I got to where they're investigating what happened to their mum, like the first stage sort of thing. Went to go and play it today, and for some reason my PC doesn't want to play it. Hi Brad, welcome to the stream.
Heyo at Hematu. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I have a habit of slipping back into the Planko language. It's good to finally meet you in person. I'm Bernard, although I insist you call me Bernie.
Hello,
The only
Bernie.
person who calls me Bernard is my wife. And even then, only when I've tracked elephant dung into the carpets.
What a charmer.
As you
I'll
know,
skip you.
I own several
Take
zoos,
it.
but I always like to show people the ropes here at my home. This is the first zoo I ever opened, and a source of great pride for me. And prides, thanks to a lion breeding program we ran in the 80s. But we're in the middle of a big renovation, and that's where you come in. Sadly, our old contractor had to retire after developing a fur allergy. Poor devil kept sneezing his dentures into the lion habitat. So, it's up to you to finish everything off. Don't worry, though. I'm not completely throwing you in at the deep end. My head keeper, Nancy Jones, will be lending a helping hand. Oh, she's a hard worker, and she'll expect you to be too. But I'm sure you'll get along like a house on fire, or even better, one that isn't on fire. Less shouting that way.
Hello there. From that
Hello.
rosy, fresh face of yours, I'm guessing you're Bernie's new hire. Good. Now, I hope you're ready to ditch your diploma because we're about to get really hands-on. But before we begin the real work, how about we familiarize you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting some of our beautiful animals? We'll start by popping over and having a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
Oh my god. Oh, well, that's good. Glad you completed it. Have a look.
Did you know that grizzly bears, also known as Ursus arctos horribilis, can hibernate for up to 7 months a year? Oh, but then again, given the chance, I think a lot of people would do that too.
I would. I'd definitely.
Select one of the
Get lost
bears and you'll
down
bring up its information panel.
Ha! Yeah, okay. Right, where's the animal?
This is where you can find out all kinds of information about your animal. The most important thing being its overall welfare. You'll learn more about animal welfare today as we go through your objectives. But for now, let's enjoy this magnificent animal. Why don't you select the camera at the bottom of its information
Brilliant.
panel?
I'll just watch the camera have a
So
shit.
now, this is a fantastic way to get a close look at your animals. You can also get this view of an animal by simply double-clicking on it. Okay, when you're ready, let's pop over to the other side of the zoo and take a look at the lions. I've marked their location for you to find.
Oh,
Panthera leo. All the West African lion to you and me. Lions are the most social of the big cats, and they can be as
I
many
would like
as
to
40
say we
lions
did
in a
have a
pride.
lovely day in the
Although
sun,
prides of that
but the
size are
closest we
pretty
got
rare.
to it is we opened the
As
patio
Bernie would
doors,
say,
love,
those
because, well, the
lions are
balcony doors.
awesome. Which is precisely why I handle training
self-isolating.
instead these days. Anyway, how about we get started on those objectives? Come on, let's head over to an empty habitat and see what needs doing there.
Right, love. Oh, you're demanding. Not empty. Oh, there is.
As you can see, it's a lovely space for animals, but it's missing a certain something. Well,
Animal.
two somethings. Warthogs. So I'd like you to adopt a pair of them. To adopt animals, we need to open the animal market, which is in the animal trading section. There we are, a pair of perfectly splendid warthogs for our zoo. Just click on them and select Adopt from the side menu. Normally the animal exchange would be full of animals, but I've emptied out the market while you learn how it works. The last thing I need is you accidentally ordering a dozen elephants. When you adopt an animal, it's automatically placed in the trade centre, where they're held until you're ready to move them into their habitat, which, as it happens, you are. So how about you move them into their new home?
Working on it, love.
When you ask for an animal to be moved into a habitat, your caretakers will go to the trade centre, collect your animal, and deliver them to your selected habitat. I've marked the trade centre's location, so let's go and watch the caretakers in action.
English only, geese. Your name? Ibamaka. You're thirsty and you've got no food. Why are you not letting me buy anything? Come on. They're hungry. And they're thirsty. You're not letting me buy anything. Yeah.
Well, as you can see, those caretakers don't hang about. They'll move those animals to their destination as fast as possible. Of course, normally we'd have to place the animals into quarantine before moving them into a habitat. But I am assured by a person of good standing that these warthogs are in the very rudest of health. Right, let's get the warthog's habitat finished up so we can keep them nice and happy. You see, each animal in the zoo has an overall welfare statistic, basically how happy they are. And that overall welfare statistic is itself comprised of 4 different areas: nutrition, social health, habitat, and enrichment. Luckily, if you select an animal, you'll bring up their animal welfare information panel, which we saw earlier, where you can see how they're doing. That way, you'll know exactly what areas need to be addressed. Don't worry if that's a lot to remember. You can always check the Zoopedia for more information.
He's over there on the sofa.
Let's start by making sure we're taking care of the warthog's nutrition welfare. To do this, we'll need to place a food station and a drinking station. Now, each animal requires a different type of feeding station. And for the warthogs,
decided
it's a
I'm
small
gonna
feeding trough.
take
So
over.
let's add one of those and a water bowl.
Taking over.
Animals also require stimulation to keep them happy. Let's add a lovely mud bath for the warthogs to roll around in. That bath will count towards their enrichment welfare, specifically their toy enrichment welfare. Oh, nice work.
Yes,
Got a knack
I do
for
like
this,
this
I
game.
see. Now,
Um,
our contractor had to leave in a hurry,
it's
so this
annoying
place is in a
that,
fairly state. Unfinished thingamajigs
start all
and
over again.
rossits all over the shop. But the first thing we need to finish is the ostrich habitat. It's over near the hippos.
because this bit's like basically the same thing over and over again. It's the tutorial.
Oh, before we actually start building our ostrich habitat, let's pause the game. Just click the pause button in the bottom right corner.
Pause.
That's more like it. A quick break. Sometimes it's a good idea to pause the game whilst you're doing something which requires your concentration, because it'll stop the zoo spinning out of control while you're looking the other way. Let's keep the game paused while we get this ostrich habitat built. Okay, job number 1 here is to add a habitat gate before we complete the barrier. Every habitat needs a habitat gate. After all, how else would the keepers get in and out? Just make sure it's hooked up to the path so the keepers can reach it.
No? What? Yeah. If you like what's it called? Things like Zoo Tycoon and things like that, then yes, it's a good game.
Right, let's complete the perimeter barrier so we can adopt us some ostriches. I've marked out an area for you to use.
Oh, hilarious,
so I'd like you to finish
Shane.
off the perimeter using the brick barrier.
Cheeky shit. Yeah. No surprising you'd say some shit like that, Dave.
Good work. Remember, before you can place animals in any
Yeah, me
habitat,
too.
it
I
has to
don't know.
have
It all
full
depends
loop of
on
connected barrier. Now,
depends
you've
on
probably
work, to be
noticed
fair.
that guests can't actually see into
And
this
if
habitat
Dave
at the
lets
moment.
me.
At least not without a stepladder. But seeing as they're banned, I'd like you to select a piece of barrier and swap out the bricks for a glass barrier, so the guests can see in.
I know.
There we go. Adding in more windows gives guests even more opportunities to see the animals in a habitat. It's always best to make sure the guests can get a good view into a habitat from the path they're
Hello.
walking on, because it makes them happy, and because this would be a pretty terrible zoo if they couldn't. The
Wow. That's
last
not
thing
what I
we need
wanted
to
to
do is to add a donation box. You see, when guests enjoy the view of an animal, they'll make a donation. Just make sure you put them in easy-to-reach places, like near a viewing point. Donation boxes are one of the main sources of income for the zoo, so make sure you remember them.
What?
Now, before we adopt our ostriches, you should click the play button. After all, if the game's paused, then so are our caretakers, which will make it a bit tricky for them to deliver the ostriches, eh?
Dave.
By the way, as well as pausing the game, you can speed the game up by clicking on the fast forward button. It'll run everything at 2 times and 5 times faster. It can be useful, especially if you're waiting for money to accumulate or for animals to be delivered to your habitat.
Roller
Personally,
toaster?
I use it when
Yeah,
I'm waiting
roller
for a build to
toaster.
finish.
Roller coaster
All right,
tycoon's good.
you've finished the habitat, so it's high time we adopted those ostriches, don't you think? Let's get 4 of them in here.
Oh, excuse me. What? Why is that one so expensive? It's got gold. Got that one. That one. Okay.
While we wait for them to be collected by the caretakers and brought to the habitat, you should get it ready for them. Add a suitable feeding station, water station, and an appropriate food enrichment item.
Right, love.
It's often best to place things like enrichments and feeding stations near to the habitat perimeter, so guests can get a really good view of the animals.
Oh, really? Uno ostrich. Oh, shit. Wait.
Good to see the ostriches have somewhere they can really stretch their legs. Did you know they can actually run at 43 miles per hour? Oh, heaven forbid they ever escape. The speed camera fines alone would bankrupt us.
Well, Bernie certainly seems impressed. Did you do his speed camera joke? Every time we get an ostrich.
Oh, welcome.
So, now we've made the ostriches' lives a bit better, let's do the same for the keepers, shall we? To make it
Shall
easier
we?
for the keepers to feed the ostriches and hippos, we should build a new keeper hut. Keeper huts are where the keepers prepare the food for animals, so they should be placed near to the habitats to make sure the keepers don't waste their time walking when they should be looking after the animals. You'll need to rotate the keeper hut to get it to connect up to the path. This keeper hut only has space for 1 keeper, but the larger keeper hut can allow multiple keepers to prepare food at the same time. Oh,
that.
but bear in mind that keeper huts and other staff facilities shouldn't be placed near to areas where there are lots of guests. Guests don't like seeing facility buildings, and it can affect their happiness.
Right.
Negatively. In case that wasn't clear. Something that all facilities, shops, and a whole host of other objects need is power. And that obviously includes your
should be
newly
changed
built
to
keeper hut.
Aids,
So let's place a
over
transformer
each.
next to it, shall we?
What am I doing? What do you want me to do? Ah. Some power.
Now, the reason everything has gone blue is because you're using the power heat map. This map allows you to see what is and what isn't powered in your zoo. So, once you've placed your transformer, you can click in the bottom left to turn the heat map off.
Yeah.
Lovely work. Now the keepers can start using the hut to prepare food, and thanks to where you've put it, they won't need to walk very far to deliver it to the ostriches and hippos. Let's get on to your next objective then. Bengal tigers.
Hello.
We want to adopt some,
Got
but I'm
to
afraid
go
there's
for a
nothing
bit,
ready
my-
for them yet.
Okay. Oh
Head on
dear.
over to the plot of land I've marked out. It's not too far away.
What do you want?
Ratty, your next job is to
Whoa.
build a habitat from
Hey.
and concrete and glass, I expect. So go ahead and build it. just make sure that the habitat includes that big hole we've dug. Oh, and don't forget to add a habitat gate to the barrier.
Alright, mate.
Oh, and make sure the guests will be able to see the tigers.
Thank you very much there. Jane, wasn't it? Much appreciated. Well, Dave will appreciate it. He's currently... He's disappeared. Quick, we're in his channel. I don't want it that long. I want it smaller. Ah! Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, but oh, you're isolating because of us, aren't you? Well, technically you're isolating because of Lacey's. Or at least it's the kid that's got corona in Lacey's class's fault. Yeah, I didn't notice that, to be fair. I'm just going to do it this way instead. Yeah, we're like, well, I'm not as bad today. I felt like proper shit the other day. Right, felt like I'd been hit by a truck. So did Dave. Harley's still snotty. Not as bad as she was though. Her cough's got better. Lacey's literally the only one that's fine.
Now, Bernie takes safety very seriously at his zoos, so we
Right.
should probably make sure those tigers can't jump out of their habitat, don't you think? The way we'll do it is by changing the height of the habitat's barrier.
Alright, mate.
Okay then, you should start by double-clicking the habitat barrier, which will take you into barrier editing mode. Great. Now highlight the entire perimeter of the habitat. You can do that by clicking and dragging the barrier selection tool.
Ah. What? Oh god, where's the back? Oh, there it is. Ah! Whoa.
Now you've got all of the perimeter selected, you can increase the height of it by clicking and dragging the barrier height tool upwards. You'll want to make sure it reaches a height of at least 3.7 meters. Now that the habitat is in place, don't forget to put down a donation box near to your viewing areas. We need every dollar we can get. Especially as these tigers aren't exactly eating instant noodles for lunch.
Bloody tree. Right, we've got Beauty shit over there, Beauty shit over there. Fuck's Oh dear. Yo, Massey. I'm good, thanks. Just, you know, chilling, making a...
Okay, that's the habitat boundary complete, the habitat gate in place, and most importantly, the tigers won't be able to jump out of it anymore. I think it's time we adopted those tigers.
All gravy. Yeah, no, Dave's disappeared. He was chilling on the sofa, but he's currently gone to toilet, I think.
Whilst our trusty caretakers collect and deliver the tigers, let's take a look at preparing the habitat for their arrival.
Hello,
Start with the
everybody.
basics.
Got some
Add a
people that I've
suitable
never
feeding
seen
station
before,
for them.
but welcome, welcome, welcome. Nice
This
to
time,
see y'all.
instead of adding a water bowl, let's try something different. Some animals need a pool in their habitat so they can go for a swim, but they can also use it to
Let's
drink
put
from.
another
All
feeding
you have to do
thingy.
is make sure the banks of the pool have a gentle slope so they can easily get a nice, refreshing drink. There's already a pool excavated, but you still need to
nightshades.
fill it with water. You should do that by going into
Looking
terrain
forward to
and selecting the water tool.
Oh, nice.
Massey, you fat slag.
Wondered what top you were wearing then. What am I doing?
Massey's a fat beach.
What did she tell me to do? Place mouse on the side of the hole. Wait for the line. What hole? Place your mouse on the side of the hole and wait for the line to turn blue to place water. Ah, that bit. Okay. Fuck you, Dave's. Ha. Just the slope to. Yeah, I just need to wait for the fucking tiger to get out of the hole. You're gonna let me put water in here?
Yes,
There we
that'll do
go.
nicely. Of course, just like the warthogs and ostriches, these tigers will also need some enrichment. Why don't you add some suitable toy and food enrichment items into their habitat?
Oh no, it's been a right old dickhead. Bloody tiger. Yes! Oh. Right, this woman. Are you gonna let me put this other... You're not even... Yeah! Oh, what is this? What's that? Wow. Press some buttons on the keyboard. And it's freaking me the fuck out. We're gonna have one of these frozen pumpkin thingies over here. Yeah, and a bit of rubbing.
Okay, it's really starting to take shape. Now, the tigers will need a shelter in their habitat so they can hide from the guests, or more likely, the bad weather. Although given that we're in England, you might want to think of that just as normal weather. Go on, add a shelter to their habitat. You can either build one from various suitable bits and bobs, or if you like, just pop down the blueprint that I've already built for you.
Hung you up in the corner over there, lovely jubbly. Right for you, Jax?
Oh, poor Dabs. I'm sure it can't have escaped your attention that the tigers look a bit miffed. That's because they aren't too keen on the type of terrain in their habitat. Select a tiger and bring up its information panel. Rightio, click on the terrain tab. That way you can view the terrain information and see how they feel about the different types of terrain. That'll tell you what the tigers need more of or less of in this habitat.
They're perfectly fine with the tool.
Okay then, open the terrain editing tool, select painting, and give them some more soil. Yes, that should help with the habitat part of their welfare.
I was painting the ground, everybody. Very real.
Right then, all animals need plants and trees from their own biome or continent. You know, deserts,
Oh, no, it's the
savannas, or
same.
Asia, Europe, that sort of thing. It looks like these tigers need a few more plants in their habitat. To get a perfect fit, use
SPEC.
plants from the rainforest and temperate biomes that are native to Asia. Although if you have to, you can get away with using just one or the other. The tigers will also want a certain amount of their habitat to be covered by those plants. To find out which plants to use and how many, select a tiger and go to the Environment tab. Now, as you can see, some of the plants currently in the habitat aren't quite right for the tiger, like the wattle bushes.
I've deleted them,
you can
love.
remove them if you want.
But wind up the hands that
You can
feed
find all
you.
of the plants you need
Yeah,
in the
this
nature
is very
section,
true.
and you can use the filters to only show the types of
Continent.
plants you want to see. In this
Yeah.
case, that's plants from the rainforest or temperate biomes.
Got this. I've got this, love. Panic. Alright. The fuck happened to that toilet? What the fuck happened there then? Well. Now, if we put these big trees nowhere near the windows, way.
They say the good fences make good neighbors. I guess that's doubly true when one of the neighbors is a bad tiger. Still, those tigers look so happy that I doubt they'd leave, even if you did poke a hole in their fence. Oh, but for heaven's sake, don't test that theory.
Right, let's head over to the Indian peafowls. I've been told that we need to improve their
What?
social welfare. Now then, just find one of the
Like a
peafowls and
peacock?
select them to open their information panel. Then we can have a good gander at how they're doing. Although technically, I suppose gandering would just be for geese. Expand
Basic.
their social welfare and we can get a bit more detail. Now, they've clearly got plenty of
Lots of
space
friends.
and they're not stressed, but it looks like their social group isn't quite right. So let's
Lots of
find out
friends.
more. Click on the social tab at the top of their information panel to see what's wrong. Right, as you can see, the peafowls need their population to be larger. To solve this little problem, you'll need to adopt 3 more female peafowls. Off you pop to the animal market then.
I am.
Good work on those peafowls. I expect they'll be delivered soon.
Thank you.
But sadly, it sounds like our snow leopard is a bit grumpy. Let's head over there and see what's wrong with her.
Yeah.
Just like people, animals can suffer from stress if things aren't quite right. You know, like when you see someone put in the milk before the tea bag. In the case
Oh,
of these snow
they don't put-
leopards, they're a bit stressed by their lack of privacy. You can lower their stress levels by swapping out the normal glass barrier by their cave for one-way glass. It's not a cheap option, but I think they're worth the expense, don't you? This will give the snow leopards somewhere to go when they want to get away from the prying eyes of the
That's
guests.
snow, Dave, not cocaine on the floor. Eat.
Of course, when an animal isn't in its natural biome, it's probably going to be too hot or too cold. Unsurprisingly for the snow leopards, it's too hot. Even with the terrible British weather, you should help cool it down by adding some coolers to their habitat. But let's start by opening up the temperature heat map and having a look-see at the temperature in the leopard's habitat.
Where it's hot, innit?
As you can see, we already have one cooler in there. Let's pop some more down and get as much of the habitat as chilly as we can. Luckily for us, this habitat already has power, but you'll need to make sure of that in the future. Just so you know, if any part of a habitat is powered, then the whole habitat will be powered.
Hmm?
You can find heat
Yeah.
maps for all sorts of helpful things, so do be sure to explore them and make good use of them. It'll take a little while for the temperature to adjust once you've added coolers or heaters, but now we've got the coolers in, we can address the leopard's terrain welfare. You see, what the leopards really want in here is snow and rock, so let's make that happen.
No.
Now then, all of that should give you a pretty good understanding of how to make animals happy. So I'd like you to go and check on all the other animals in the zoo and fix up any issues with their habitats. That'll increase the average welfare of the animals across the whole zoo. And that average welfare is a very important statistic. Now, to quickly see how
leopards.
all your
Them's
animals are
pretty
doing in
happy,
the zoo,
snow
you
leopards.
should go into zoo management and then into the animals section.
You need joy. Wait a minute, love, because I'm not finished. Yeah. Yeah. Zebra over. Right. Them's happy.
As you can see, this list shows you the animal's overall welfare. So if something's amiss, then you can quickly pop over to them using the locate button. Right, I'm off for a cuppa while you make sure all the animals are well looked after.
Where's the locate button? Fucking lying. Why, my turtles ain't happy. Gonna have to look for them, innit? Suppose. Here's a dead animal. Fucks the turtle. Yeah, there's meant to be like some type of locate button. Don't know where. Where's the locate button, Lawrence? Oh, my zebras ain't happy. Look, got a fucking zebra here, but wow. Habitat, first of all, we don't like the terrain. Or Short grass. Hmm? Head off, have fun. Thank you very much. See you later, Shane. Thank you for the, I can't remember what it was called that you did. I think it was a sub or whatever it was, I don't know. Whatever it was. Thank you very much. Haha. Thank you, my love. Long grass. That's it, remembering. Thank you very much. Got really shit memory. Thanks for remembering. I've got a shit memory. Dear. But what else is your problem? Food enrichment and species toy enrichment. Okay. Interspecies bonus. Okay. You dirty bugger. You know, interspecies, what do you want to do? Have a banger. Why haven't I got zebra on here? And there we go. Food enrichment. Boy.
Not bad. Not bad at all. I think it's fair to say that you've passed the first part of your training with flying colours. There's still lots.
I don't want to stay in that zoo. I want to. No. Make my own. Oh. Oh, we're going sandbox mode. I have to carry on then with the tutorial. Going sandbox mode? Alright. Shut up, you.
Welcome to Madagascar. It's quite the change of scenery from dreary old England, huh? Apart from the weather, I suppose. They don't call these places rainforests for nothing. The zoo you'll be working in is an ape sanctuary, where we're doing vitally important conservation work. Not just for apes, but for all kinds of species.
Wow.
But apes, well, apes are some of the closest relatives to humans there are. And yet, the way the world treats them is like, well, very much like some of us treat our actual relatives. Anyway, that's why I'm determined that our operation here does some good. If we can all leave some part of the world in a better state than we found it, we'll have lived lives worth living. And speaking of states, I have a horrible feeling I left the house in a right one. When I get back, I expect my life won't be worth living at all.
What do you think of Madagascar then?
Lovely,
It
isn't
warmed for my
it?
taste, to be honest. Anyway, this is Bernie's primate sanctuary. It's not just
Ah.
primates though. We've got all sorts of animals. So why don't we go and have a look at some of them, eh?
All
We'll
right, then.
start by taking a look at the red-ruffed lemurs. They're the ones that look like they should be in a Shakespeare play. Come on, let's head over to them.
Okie dokie then. Come on then. Lima.
Red-ruffed lemurs are found in the rainforests of Masoala. That's in northeast Madagascar. They can actually live anywhere from 15 up to 25 years. Fancy that, eh? Okay, when you're ready, let's go find our Bornean orangutans.
Hold on. There's lemurs ain't happy. Can't I give him a... You're not going to let me give him any toys? Well, you're just a fucking bitch then, aren't you? Lemurs ain't happy.
The Bornean orangutan is such a marvellous creature. They're always a big favourite at any zoo they feature in, and they're also the biggest tree-dwelling animal on the planet. Assuming you don't count any lions that got stuck up one. Oh, why don't you take a better look at them? Open up their information panel and go into the animal camera. Aren't they just incredible? When you're ready, let's go and have a look-see at some of our beautiful bonobos. They're quite the characters.
Boys, 13.5 years old, dude. Oh,
Oh dear! It looks like we've arrived just in time. One of the habitat's barriers has collapsed. And wouldn't you know it, one of the bonobos has made a run for it. We'll need to catch them. But before we do, we should box up the other bonobos to stop them escaping too. Select the habitat boundary to bring up the habitat information panel. Good, now open the Animals tab. And click on Box All Animals to box up the remaining bonobos. Now, we'll need a vet to recapture that escaped bonobo, but it seems our last one left to do some research in the wild. Not an ideal situation. So, we'll need to hire a replacement sharpish. Go into the zoo section and then into the staff management area. You can find all of your staff in here, but there's no time to go looking at their particulars at the moment. Hire a vet. Now, click on one of the paths to place the vet in your zoo.
I'm going to stick it right
Now
there.
let's deal with our escapee before they can cause too much havoc. Use the animal alerts to jump to the escaped bonobo. Oh,
Right,
okay, that's a relief.
place the
So
vet
while
right
the
near
vet
it.
deals with our bonobo friend, let's go fix up their habitat so they can't escape again. Head back over there. As you can see, the barrier's collapsed. Someone's taken their eye off the ball, obviously. Let's get this one replaced. Select the barrier and then we'll edit it. Delete the broken section of barrier and replace it with a brand spanking new one.
That button. Wow.
Good. Now that we've done that, we need to make sure to add climb-proof barriers to the top. That way the bonobos won't be able to climb out. Just make sure you've got the correct piece of barrier selected when you do that. Okay, so go into the options section and select which side the climb-proof barrier needs to go on. And don't get it wrong. We're more worried about bonobos climbing out than guests climbing in. Nicely done.
On both,
And
didn't
I think it's high time we unboxed those bonobos, wouldn't you say? The poor mites will get sad if we leave them in there for too long. Select the habitat barrier to bring up the habitat information panel again. And then open the Animals tab.
Get it?
So, it turns out that as well as the old vet leaving, the zoo's mechanics did too. We'll need to hire a couple of new ones so we can help stop any more breakouts. You see, mechanics do all sorts of helpful things around the zoo, but one of their most important jobs is taking care of the habitat barriers. Without mechanics around to repair them, the barriers will crack, crumble, and fall down. And before you know it, we'll be overrun with escaped animals. Go into the zoo section and then into the staff management area again. Oh, gosh, we have been busy, haven't we? Good work there. I'm off for a cuppa. Oh, I think Bernie wants a word with you.
Oh, I hear you had a bit of an issue with an escaped bonobo. The main thing is that you dealt with it swiftly, and more importantly, without the animals stealing someone's clothes, putting them on, and then walking out of the front gate.
You see, another key responsibility for our vets is animal research. Researching animals allows vets to unlock new enrichment items, additional information for our education resources, enhanced breeding programs, and improvements to food quality. The animals' food, not the vets. It'll take more than a research grant to improve the staff count.
Wait.
Anyway, as you can see, research is a key part of running your zoo. In order for a vet to undertake research, they require a research centre. And once again, that's something that this zoo is missing. So let's build one. I've marked out an area for you to put it.
Right, the area that you told me to put it is on top of.
Now, you've probably noticed that there's already a building where I want you to build the research centre. Don't worry. You see, the building that's currently there is actually a hollow shell, so we're able to place our new building inside of it. If you select the research centre for placement and then hover over the shell, you'll see that it asks if you want to add the research centre to the existing building. Okay, click to add it to the building. Oh, but that won't place it in just yet, though. First, we'll need to rotate our research centre so it automatically connects to the path when we place it.
On. Yeah. Do what we wanted it to do. I don't know. Try this again, shall we? Why are you not letting me turn it?
Right, splendid work. Now that we have
Lovely.
a brand spanking new
Lovely.
research centre, we can give our vets something to do in there.
Yeah.
By the way, it's worth noting that the vets will only do research when they're not required to do any other jobs. That said, you can change what jobs a vet does via their information panel. But let's not worry about that just now. So, let's get our vet researching ring-tailed lemurs. Go into the zoo section and select Vet Research. Here, you can see a list of all the animals present in your zoo, and also all the potential diseases that can occur. Now, drag and drop your vet onto the ring-tailed lemur to start their research.
Hit.
Actually, thinking about it, I'm not sure we've got any education boards or speakers by the lemur's habitat.
No.
Let's head over there and add some, so our guests can learn all about the furry little delights.
Hello, Zaki.
First
How
off,
do?
let's pop down 2 education boards. Place them on the habitat barriers at a height that guests can see, or, if you like, pop them down on a stand.
Ooh. Ah.
Okay, now that they've been put into position, we have to tell them what animal to display information about. Select one of the education boards to bring up its information panel.
See. I know, darling.
And from the drop-down list, select ring-tailed lemur. Although I'm sure that last part was obvious. When you
All
link
of
an
it,
education
isn't
board
it,
or a
really?
speaker to an animal, you need to make sure that said animal is close by. If it isn't, the guests will get confused and won't learn as much. Okay,
Better
now
to be
that we've
safe
done the
than sorry
education
though,
boards,
darling.
let's pop down a pair of speakers. Speakers play audio to the guests so they can learn while they look at the animals, instead of having to go through the laborious process of reading. Oh, one thing to bear in mind is that it's important not to put the speakers too close together. If you do, the guests won't be able to understand what's being said. Now we simply need to link the speakers to the ring-tailed lemurs, just like you did with the education boards. Fantastic! Oh, it's worth remembering that education boards and speakers both need power to work. They won't do much good without it. Oh, it looks as though our vet has completed their research on ring-tailed lemurs. We'll need to collect the results. We can do that by clicking on the notification or by going back into the vet research area. Go on, collect your research reward.
Just
Just so you know, vets will continue to research an animal even after successfully completing a research level. I suppose when you're in the zone, you're in the zone. Well, now that we've enriched the lives of our guests, let's enrich the lives of our ring-tailed lemurs. Some animals, like lemurs, will have a climbing need. That means they have a requirement for a certain amount of climbing space, and you can fulfill that requirement by building them a climbing frame. Let's find out how much more climbing space our lemur friends need, shall we? Select
Shall
one of
we?
them and bring up their information panel.
Oh yeah, you know, I hope it is.
Next, click on the Terrain tab. Now, as you can see, the lemurs need quite a lot more climbing space.
Oh.
But as it happens, I've already got a climbing frame blueprint built for you. So you
Have
can
you?
either pop that down or build one yourself from scratch. By the way, it's not always just climbing needs that you have to worry about. Other animals might need a certain amount of water in their habitat so they can go for a swim. They certainly do keep us on our toes.
Can't put it here. Purely for the fact that they're not going to be able to get out of the fucking. Fine. Build my own. I will build my own. Yeah, she's having a nap. Even though she woke up at like 9ish. Woke up, but napping. Whoa, that way. Gotta get used to the spinning. Stuff.
Oh, that's a great climbing frame for them. They're going to absolutely love it.
What are you on about,
You know
bitch? I'm
what
not
would make them
finished.
even happier, though? Nicer food. But that's true of all of us, though, isn't it? You can unlock better quality food for animals through research. Luckily, we've already unlocked some for the lemurs, so all that remains is to make sure they get served it from now on. Let's bring up the habitat information panel by selecting the lemur habitat.
I suppose that'll do.
There we go. As you can see, we can set the food quality in here.
Food
Just
quality.
click on the drop-down menu and
Finished.
select Grade 2 Food Quality. Grade 2 Food Quality. My mouth's already watering. So, a new climbing frame and better food. Oh, you've really spoilt those lemurs rotten. Now,
Yeah.
I think it's time we looked at one of the zoo's most important responsibilities. Releasing animals into the wild. You see, when we feel an animal is ready, we can release them into the wild. But what makes an animal a good candidate for release? Well, their age is an important factor. I mean, we can't release an animal that's a juvenile, just as we can't release one that's gotten too old. They'll also need to be fertile. After all, the idea is to repopulate the wild, so the best candidates will have a high fertility gene. And together, the age and fertility of the candidate will determine how many conservation credits will be rewarded when we release them. Now, conservation credits are vitally important. They're the lifeblood of your zoo, because earning them allows you to adopt even more animals. And what's more, the animals you can adopt will be of a higher quality. So, with that in mind, let's pop over to our orangutan habitat. Okay, I'd like you to find Ageng, the Borneo orangutan in the habitat, and select him, please. You can either click through each orangutan in turn, or select the habitat barrier, go to the Animals tab in the Habitat Information panel, and find him in the Animals list. I know it's sad to see him go, but he'll be happy out in the wild. And he's a wonderful candidate for release, young, strong, and fertile. Excellent work there. You've definitely got potential, you know.
Ah, I see you've been doing some homework. Although, it hardly seems like work when you're learning about something as adorable as a ring-tailed lemur. I imagine I'd have got much better grades at school if there'd been less algebra and more aldebra. Tortoises.
Okay, so far we've done a lot of work with habitat animals, but now it's time to learn all about exhibit animals. Let's build a brand new exhibit. I've marked an area for our new exhibit. How about we head over there? Lovely. Now let's build a new exhibit in the gap that's been left. Just add it to the building like we did with the research centre earlier, then pop it into the gap.
This one? Huh? Bye!
Perfect. The next thing to do is adopt an exhibit animal to go in there. How about a Gila monster? Open up the exhibit trading section and adopt one. as we do with habitat animals, we need to send the Gila monster to the exhibit. Click on the exhibit to send it there. When you send an animal to an exhibit, it'll automatically be given the correct setup. But that doesn't mean it's completely ready for them. So let's finish it off. We'll start by adding some enrichment items. Click on the exhibit to bring up its information panel. Good. Now click on the Layout tab. Oh, well, it looks like we've only got the enrichment level 1 items unlocked at the moment. Never mind, let's turn on at least one of them for the Gila monster. As I'm sure you know by now, you can unlock more enrichment levels by having one of your vets do some research. Now we'll also need to set the temperature and humidity in the exhibit. These are vitally important for keeping our Gila monster happy and comfortable. Click on the Climate tab. Here, you can see the Gila monster's desired temperature and humidity. You can change both of these by adjusting the dials below. Make sure it's going to be nice and cozy.
Peter. Gila monster? So with 40 degrees, you was happy with. Oh no, it's less humid. Alright, so.
That's the ticket! And the last thing we need to look at is setting up the different windows. So click on the Windows tab. You can edit and customize any of the windows on an exhibit. A window can be closed and blank, or have a 2-dimensional background, or even a 3-dimensional background on it. Why don't you have a play around with the options? There's also an exhibit education board. Pop them down near your exhibits to teach your guests about them. Let's add one now.
I don't want to click on the people.
Lovely stuff. Now our guests can learn all about our venomous friend here. Right,
Venomous
now,
friend?
I've got a bit of a big job for you. I need you to increase the number of species in the zoo. You'll probably want to adopt both habitat and exhibit animals to do so, which will mean building plenty of new habitats and exhibits for them. Go on, off you pop. I'll
I'm gonna
check
do
in with you
something
when
with
you're
this.
almost done.
You're done now. Oh. What's going on? What do you want? These 12 species in the zoo. Hey, you're gonna have to wait because I need to be right back. Okie dokie, we are back. Now, you want me to get more species in? This looks like a good place to have some extra species. Right. Question is what? Don't know what animals have got. I need to call it a farm then. I haven't got a farm on my what now? Overlap. Helpful. Can't see anything overlapping, but okie dokie. Oh look, I've got random hippopotamuses wandering around in the water. Yeah, do you think I could get like some sort of fish? Some sort of aquatic species? Let's have a look see. I've got giant tortoises. This means this animal is being adopted from Ash. It cannot. What? Yeah. Fine. Got giant tortoises. No. What's wrong with you? Area or crowding? Ah. Huh? I'm giving my hippos some more space, Dave. The hippopotamuses need some more room. Got to make the fences a bit taller, otherwise I'll try and escape. No one wants an escape hippopotamus. Huh? Oh, hello. How are you, wisdom? What I might do. Dangerous animal has escaped. Right, what's this said dangerous animal? Oh, the hippo that's still in its enclosure that I am expanding. Okay. Hippos escape. I know, right? No, they've got land in here. I've just extended their water area. And they've got a bit of land here as well. I just gave them a bit more space. Too few adults and juveniles. So now you need some more friends. Okay. I can give you some friends.
Not that front of that land.
No. I mean, I could make it bigger. Make it bigger, shall we? Yeah, we are too. Ah.
Yeah.
This, that'll be for more habitats. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to extend I don't know. Oh, there is. Very hard to see in the rain. Hmm? Very hard to see in the rain, you see. Go away. Can't see. Wait, I can. Yeah, there's a fast forward button.
I'm so
I'm going to. Doing it. It is the rainforest though. That's better. Oh look! Habitat is invalid. Yeah, I know, because I haven't finished. I haven't finished, alright? Give me a frickin' minute! Where did I go? I went... I've paused it. Yeah, now I can see better. I know, now I can see better. I'm fixing it. fixing it. I'm fixing it. Don't worry. No, I'm not drunk, Dave. Thank you. You have to build the fence, Dave, otherwise it's not a valid... You still have to put the fence around everywhere, otherwise it's not valid. They say it's not a valid pen habitat, whatever you want to call it. Don't allow you to do it. Even though the hippo can't do it, can't go anywhere. Still have to fence it. Them's the rules. Oh. Where am I headed? Right. All the way round. Come on, you went blue somewhere. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where it went blue. What, give him all of this area here as well? I wasn't trying to go through it, I was trying to go around it.
I would obviously.
I'm gonna see if I can. If I can, why not? Yeah. Because I didn't. No. Okay. Hippos have a nice big area. Yeah, so this island's not included, but they've got this section here. They've got this section here as well. And then they've got all of the water. They've got this section here, which was already here for their habitat. And then they've got all of this water all around here. So lots of swimmings for them. Now, you wanted some more hippos. Need hippo friend. I've got to find the bloody things. Hippopotamus. Only 2 females on. This is trade.
Purchase.
I mean, what happens? This is the animal market.
Have to trade.
Yeah, I've got nowhere else to buy them from. I got 1 male and 1 female.
On to
I'm guessing so. I don't know. Relocating to hippopotamus. Okay. Right, I've enriched your social group. We are also, what's the word? We are researching the hippopotamus so that asshole. So that no, nope, that's not what I'm looking for. so that we can give you better food quality. Right, we need a bit more soil and a bit more sand. Is that what we're saying? Yes, sand. I can't remember how I changed it. Changed. Anyone remember how I did that? Everyone's on grade 2. That's alright. Right, that's that done. I want to see if do we think elephants and hippopotamuses are? Can't even get any bloody elephant. What? Well. Yeah. Get another female. Oh god. For a little one. Okay. You happy now? Last meal quality was great. Well, yeah, we'll be fixing everything else you'll have, aren't you? Food. Okay. I'm gonna build animals. I got no. Let's have these. Is that alright? Dangerous. What about? Apparently a dangerous animal has escaped. But it's still in its habitat. What about? Those things. Better for you? Are you happier now? Are you happy now? Ooh. Okay. Hello, are you up, sausage? How are you? Why can't... Oh, because it's not in this... Right. Anyway, we've had enough of the fucking hippopotamus fiasco. We've fixed that problem. Let's... Yeah, I'm alright. Feeling much better today. Not quite so, chesty. Still got a wee bit of a cough, but, other than that... Right. Dave's still a bit under the weather. Hmm? Oh, and he's deaf in his right ear. Wrong. So I thought I'd steal the channel for the day. Play with some monkey. Oh yes, and I'm off till Wednesday, so I've just been given the approval that if I'd like to, I can stream tomorrow as well. Oh, tonight. Tonight as well, my God. Oh my God, what are you doing? Stop being a flid. I don't want to go down there. No, it's because it keeps snapping to go into one of those onto the other fence there. I don't want to. I don't want my monkeys going over there. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Look, now that... Whoa.
That'll be fine.
Apart from the fact, now, this... There we go. Ah. Quick, pause it before the rain starts getting too heavy. Okay, so... Can I... Oh, can't. I can't. I was hoping that I could have flattened that bit of terrain out, but I can't. I'm going to have to go round it. That would be a good way for the monkey to escape. Hmm? Hmm. Yeah. Affected the whole lot so I could change the height so the monkeys can't get up. Oh no. What's that? Right. But I'm going to call it there for now. And I'll be back with this later on at about 7 o'clock. Because I've got some bits and pieces that I need to do. And Harley will be getting up shortly. Oh my god, look at all that chat going up and down. So yeah, thank you very much everyone for coming on and watching. I will be back later on at 7 with the next installment of what on earth I'm going to do with this. And I will see you all then. Bye Lovey. Thank you JC, Beast King, Dave, Zaki and anyone else that's still in the chat for popping in, and I will see you later at 7 o'clock.